Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I've learned as I've grown into the person that I am today. And I've been having so much trouble with my ring light. It's like I set it up and then it goes, and so it comes down to about here. So anyway, it's something that back in the day would have driven me crazy. I just don't let things like that drive me crazy as much anymore, you know? And it's that peace and serenity that has come to me. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect. Like, it does test me at times, you know? Not the ring light, but just any little thing tests me. And I'm like, okay, breathe. And, you know, it will be okay. It'll work out the way it's supposed to, you know? So anyway, the ring light is sitting up and it's good now. And I have my coffee and this is my last video of the day that I am filming. So, I woke up today and I was super tired and I was like, oh, come on, Peter, I want to film all these videos, get motivated. I just felt like I didn't have any motivation. And I took the dogs outside. It was super cold, and I like got dressed and washed my face and brushed my teeth, and then I like went out. And I was like, okay, I'm like into it now. Now I want to do a booktube video and this. And had I started earlier, I would have done a Peter Does Stuff video today. So if you guys haven't checked it out, I have a new channel called Peter Does Stuff, and over there I'm just doing stuff. Like I talked about gratitude. I actually talked about gratitude and the Magic book by Rhonda Byrne the other day, which we're almost to the end of it. We'll finish it this week, which is so crazy, right? So anyway, I'll talk about that towards the end of the week when we completely finish the book, and I will probably do an entire video talking about it. Maybe two. We'll see. Anyway, I already have the two books picked out for today that you can't see the other one. It's hidden in here. The two books that I'm going to read from. I may end up only reading from one, but I'm going to read from both of them. Oh, shoot. I left my reading glasses over there. Well, I'll have to hold it out. So the first one is from Nightlight, a book of nighttime meditations by Amy Dean from Hazelden. I love this book. And I actually haven't read on here from this book for a while, so let's read it. December 3rd. And I haven't read these meditations. I just read the beginning of it, and I thought, oh, this will be a good meditation for today. So, December 3rd. The person who is always having feelings hurt is about as pleasant a companion as a pebble in a shoe. Elbert Hubbard. Are we overly sensitive or afraid of personal criticism for fear our feelings will be hurt? Sometimes it may seem like no one can say anything to us without us feeling hurt, shameful, guilt-ridden, or rejected. We may find ourselves saying we're sorry so many times in one day that we end up believing we are, indeed, very sorry people. Our friends and relatives care about us and want to see us healthier, happier people. Because of this, they may give us criticism. This criticism is meant to be helpful, not hurtful. If we feel attacked by the criticisms of others or always seem to have our feelings hurt, it's because we allow it. No one can make us feel any way unless we let it happen. This is really powerful. I'll come back and talk about that in a second. No one can make us feel any way unless we let it happen. Although we may have been brought up with criticism and been told we were no good, the only person today who can make us feel worthless is ourselves. We are as good as we'll allow ourselves to be. I can accept personal criticism and not fear my feelings will be hurt. Tonight and every night, I am a good person, no matter what another says or feels. You know, it's an interesting meditation, and I really, really like it because I think that there's a fine line today in our world between, and I see it a lot on social media as well, there's a fine line between criticism and critiquing something and somebody just saying that you're a mean person, right? And, you know, I know that in my life, when I look back over the criticisms that I've received, you know, when people are like, I want to help you out. So, you know, the way that they say it often has so much to do with the way that I receive it. There have been periods in my life, though, where no one could tell me anything, you know? And that, to me, is something that is like, you want to talk about pet peeves? And I've talked about this on my vlog, but one of my only, I don't have a lot of pet peeves, but really one of my only pet peeves is the person out there that is unable to be teachable. They're unteachable. They refuse to learn any lessons. And so any person that comes at them with any kind of like criticism or critiquing them or giving them suggestions or advice, they just repel it. They repel it, they're resistant to it, they don't want to hear it because they already know everything, right? And the reason that's a pet peeve to me is because it's a mirror. I've seen that part of myself in the past. I used to be that person. No, you can't be talking about me. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't see it. I can't see myself in that, blah, 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 whatever, right? Even when it was coming from people that were very, very close to me and cared about me, you know? The other thing is that it makes me sad for those people. Like, I see them and I'm just like, you're so unwilling to have this just absolutely magical life as a result of your willingness to just hold on to this idea that you're perfect and that you can't learn from anybody, right? And the thing is that it always comes out in this kind of martyrdom, victim language, which is if somebody's criticizing you, and like, even that word has like a negative connotation. It's like the word confrontation, you know, has like this negative connotation to it. It's like confrontation is not bad, okay? Criticism is bad. It's like codependency. We talk about that and people think, oh my God, that's a bad word. No, it's not a bad word, you know? Criticism is not bad. Somebody can give you criticism that is positive. When we talk about literary criticism or film criticism, that's like taking a look at a situation and like breaking it down and saying, hey, like this is what I really truly think about it, right? But we have to be open to that. But, you know, it's like when I have known a lot of people in my life, and I was like this at one point, that any kind of suggestion or advice you had to me was basically translated into this martyrdom victim language that was, so basically what you're saying is I'm no good. So basically what you're saying is I'm just not good enough as I am. So basically what you're saying is you don't want to be my friend. So basically what you're saying is you don't want to be in a relationship with me. And it's push, 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 push people away. Instead of being open to what they're saying and saying, you know what, maybe there's some truth to that. Maybe I need to take a look at that. Maybe I need to be open to that. It doesn't mean that I have to say, I agree with you. It doesn't mean that I have to say everything that you're saying to me is 100% true. Because like the book says, a lot of us, you know, grew up with very strong people in our lives that had a lot of criticism for us. You know, my mother was somebody that loved me a lot, but she was very protective of me, and sometimes it came out in kind of like strange ways. Like I can remember one time, I had colored my hair like black. It was like black to go to school. And I was like walking down the stairs and she looked at me and she said, you're not going to school that way, are you? Like that is a criticism that to me was hurtful, okay? Had she said to me, what she said to me later is, you know, your hair is so black, I'm afraid that people are going to make fun of you because it was like staining my face and stuff like that. And she was like, you know, she just thought that it looked out there and different, which is so funny because my mom was always somebody that embraced that about people. And she would say to me, you know, when your friends like dye their hair black and have one side of their head shaved or whatever, like I appreciate that individualism about them, but when it's my own kid, like I don't want anybody making fun of my kid. And that's why I'm like that. But had my mom said that to me, had my mom said to me, listen, I'm afraid that people are going to make fun of you. And if that's how you want to go to school, know that you have my support. But I just want you to know it's very different than the blonde hair that you had yesterday. So you're probably going to get a lot of criticism about it. And I'm just fearful of that. I don't want my kid to have hurt feelings, you know? And I would have said, oh, Mom, just let me go and I'll do what I want to do, right? But for her to look at me and say, you're not going to school that way, are you? Like, that's a criticism. And I think so much of it comes in the way that we hear it. So then as we get older, nobody can say anything to us because if they say anything to us, we always hear it with hurt ears. You know what I mean? Like, you're just trying to hurt my feelings. You don't really care about me. You're just trying to hurt me. And that's just not the reality with most people, you know? I just lost my space in here and I wanted to say something else about this part. When it says, no one can make us feel any way unless we let it happen. And I love that so much. When it says, if we feel attacked by the criticisms of others or always seem to have our feelings hurt, it's because we allow it. Nobody can make you feel a certain way. I have to tell you a little secret. This is a trick that I wish I hadn't taught my husband. Because this is kind of a recovery saying, like, you know what, like, nobody can make me feel a certain way, right? And feelings aren't facts. And so I would say that to my husband, like when we would get into a fight or whatever, and he'd say, like, you're making me really, like, upset, right? And I'd say, I can't make you upset. Like, that's a choice, you know? Like, if you want to sit down and talk it out, we can talk it out. So then later I would say to him, like, you're making me really angry. And he'd be like, I can't make you angry. Like, that's a choice, you know? And I'd be like, you know what I mean? But like, it's the truth. It's the truth, right? Like, I have known people that truly do not allow other people to have power over them or rent space in their head for free. You know, I'm somebody that rent is real cheap in my head, okay? And I have to work on that. I do. Like, people that do not even know that they're on my radar, like, seriously, like, I'm not like this so much today because I've worked so much on it. But, you know, back in the day, like, I can be on Facebook, okay? Like, this is a good example of me a couple years ago. I can be on Facebook and I can see something that somebody posts and I'm like, and like somebody underneath it will like it. And that person was like mean to me 30 years ago in high school. And I'll be like, oh. And then I'm like in my head and I'm like thinking about that person all day long. I mean, it's been 30 years, you know what I mean? And it's like, just let it go. Just let it go. Don't let those people rent space in your head for free. And be open to the suggestions. Be open to that people really care and love you enough to help you. Because I will tell you one thing I have learned, okay? And one thing that I do feel today, because I have been somebody that has allowed myself to be open to criticism. And I ask for it. I openly ask for it from my husband, from my best friend Tanya, to my sponsor, to my other close friends of mine in my life, that most of those people are in sobriety. But some of them aren't, you know? I'll ask for, like, what do you think I should have done differently, or criticisms, or, you know, help or suggestions or advice or whatever. If people want to help you, okay, I'm not talking about somebody that's giving you unsolicited advice constantly in your personal life. You know, we all have that one aunt that just wants to just give us unsolicited advice. Like, well, what you should have done. Well, what you should have done. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, I have to learn some of my own lessons. But at the same time, it's like if we stop being open to the lesson that other people are trying to help us with, they will stop going there, giving us the lesson. They will say, you're not open to hearing it, so I'm not going to give you suggestions anymore. And part of that back and forth of us giving each other suggestions in friendships and relationships is the building of intimacy. One of my other books today, I don't know which one it was, but it was going to talk about intimacy. I think it was The Soul's Companion. I looked through all of these. And, you know, it's the truth. It's like, it's part of, no, that's November 3rd. Hold on a second. We're way past that. I think it's intimacy, December 3rd. And, you know, the thing is, the building of intimacy, whatever kind of relationship, I'm not talking about just about physical intimacy. I'm talking about intimacy within friendships, you know, where you share stuff with each other. You share deep stuff with each other and you bond over that, right? Like, and somebody becomes your heartstone. Like my best friend, she's my heartstone in my life. Like, we have shared so much with each other, right? But if she's trying to give me suggestions and advice because she thinks that maybe things that she sees it a different way, and I'm like, no. At some point, she's going to say, and I've had people say this to me in my life, thankfully not Tanya, but other people, you know what, you don't really want to hear anything I have to say, so I'm just not going to say it anymore anyway. And that's kind of sad, because then what that means is people have given up on you. I don't want people to give up on me today. I want people to give me 9th, 20th, and 50th chances. And I say that a lot because I believe in giving other people those chances as well. And I don't want to cut people off. I want to be open to suggestions. And the older that I get, like I said this the other day in my video, people give you advice and suggestions based on their own life experience, and so it's flattery. It's like that song, you know, that Always Wear Sunscreen or whatever song, he says that in there. But it's true. It's like when people give you suggestions or advice, it's flattery that they care enough about you to want to help you based on their own personal experiences. And when I have listened to others that have gone through things that I'm going through now, typically they're right. And if I listen, it only improves my life for the better. So anyway, let me know what you think about that meditation in the comment section below. I'm not going to read the other one. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.